Hi friends, and welcome to another video. Today I'm bringing you on a vlog. Let's spend some time together. It is the weekend. It is currently Saturday. I'm up, I'm feeling good, and I want to do some cross stitching today. Now, if you don't know, I haven't posted a video. I took a break. Life gets in the way, and I kind of just went into a crochet bubble where all I did was crochet all day, every day. I read, obviously. I'm always reading, but I went into I went into hyper fixation on crochet, so I haven't cross stitched in months. And this weekend, I wanted to set aside some time to pick up one of my crochet projects, cross stitch projects. Here we go already. And get back into it, try and get that stitchy bug back, because I was looking at my projects the other day and I was like, I miss you guys. So I intentionally made some time to cross stitch this weekend, and I just thought I would bring you along a little bit of a reading vlog, a little bit of a cross stitch vlog, and hopefully you will enjoy. So I'm going to be stitching on Open Your Heart to New Adventures. I will pop everything on screen about this pattern, what I'm stitching it on, when I started it, the artist, where I bought it. I always do this, so if anytime there is a project or a pattern you like that I'm stitching, just pause the video and you can get all the information on screen. And yeah, so I'm currently at 2,402 stitches for a total of 18.19% complete. And this is what we are starting with today. I think this is going to be flipped, actually, because I have my phone flipped. So I might need to flip this back. I might take another video. I might actually take another video just of this with my back camera so that you can see it in the right orientation. But this is how we're looking so far. And my goal today is to just fill in some of the adventure part. So if I come down here, I can fill in this adventure part here. I'm doing this on a River Hut Designs fabric. I really think it's gonna pop on this fabric once it's all done. But this is how we're looking. I don't know, I might switch out projects. We'll see how it goes. We'll see how the vibe is. I am currently reading two books. I'm reading Daughter of Smoke and Bone. Now, there is a story that goes with this book, because I originally heard of Daughter of Smoke and Bone years and years ago. Like when I first started watching booktube. I mean, when I read The Mortal Instruments for the first time, the third book was coming out when I first heard of this. So when was this book out? So 2011. So we'll say like 2015, 2016 was when this was on my radar. I never bought it. I never picked it up. I kind of forgot about it. The only thing I didn't forget was that it has so many covers. And one day I was scrolling through Amazon and I found all three of these paperbacks for £2 each, which means I got this whole trilogy for £6. And one of my main goals this year was to read more from my shelves, read more intentionally. I want to read from my shelves so when I take in books, I don't feel like I'm just adding to the never-ending stack. I want to be able to pinpoint and say, well, I read this book, so I bought this book, sort of deal. Also, if you hear snoring, that's my dog. She's sleeping. I ain't moving her. She's happy and snoring her wee little heart out. So you have some ambience with this intro. So I picked up Daughter of Smoke and Bone. I didn't know what I was in the mood for, so I done a little tour of my shelves, tried the first chapter of a few books, and this one stuck. I'm kicking myself that I didn't pick this up sooner. In this, you follow Carew. I may pronounce names wrong, and if I do, I apologize. But in this, you follow Carew, right? And she is a normal art student living in Prague. She has blue hair. She has a best friend. Like, you know, she's just living her best life out here. But little do you know, or anyone around her know, that she lives a double life, because part-time she's, you know, an art student and living the life of a normal young adult. But other times she knocks on a door and gets accepted into Brimstone's shop. Now, Brimstone is a chimera and he deals in teeth. Teeth pay for wishes. So if you come, you give him teeth, he will give you wishes, right? And she sometimes has to go on little adventures for Brimstone. She was brought up in Brimstone's shop because she didn't have any family. We don't quite know where she came from. All we know is that Brimstone raised her in his shop since she's been a wee two. And so she thinks of all of these chimera that are in the shop, all four of them. Yeah, four? Yeah, all four of them as family. Enter in Akiva, who's an angel, by the way. They call him Seraphim. Seraphim. I'm sure it, like, I'm totally pronouncing it wrong, but essentially he's an angel. Or like, yeah, we're going with angel. Okay, so enter Akiva, who is an angel, and him and his siblings, who aren't blood related but are bonded siblings, are putting handprints on all the doors to Brimstone's shop. And then boom, Carew can't get into any of the shops. She can't get back to her family, and all she's stuck with is this angel who she needs answers from, but the answers aren't necessarily going to be what she wants to hear. I'm enjoying this so much. Like, I'm pretty far up through this, actually. I'm like 290 pages through. So I'm a good bit into this book. I really like Carew. I really like Akiva. The only thing is there's like this really weird thing where it kind of feels like insta-lovey, even though it's took the whole book for it to get anywhere near that. And it's like, I don't know, insta-lust maybe is maybe a better thing. I also am a sucker for a pint-sized sidekick who is vicious, and Susanna, Carew's best friend, is exactly that. And I want her in my life. I want her as my best friend because she is hilarious. So I love the best friend. I really like Carew. She's one of these protagonists that isn't like, she's not stupid. She's not naive, even though she doesn't know things. She, you know, she knows there was secrets kept from her. She just doesn't know the lengths those secrets go to. And she has queries and wants to search for answers, but she's not like stupid, you know? She's also a badass. Like, she could be an assassin, but she doesn't kill unless like it's self-defense. She doesn't use her powers for nefarious reasons, you know. She is trained and she's very well trained, but she only uses it in self-defense or in situations that call for it, which I kind of like. Like, I love having a non-naive badass main character that could be an assassin but chooses not to kill. Like, we like that. I also think like it's kind of hard because even though she's not naive, and even though she's been raised to think these things, like, it's not as straightforward as that. I suppose other people could read this and think she is, but I read it and was like, you don't know what you don't know. And if you've been raised your whole life in this certain way, in this certain manner, you're going to have questions. But when you get shut down by a chimera every time, you're going to stop kind of asking questions. Don't mess with something that ain't broke, sort of thing. But I'm really enjoying this. I'm hoping that I can finish it within this vlog. I'm also reading this one. I'm also reading Stolen Air. I don't know what all the blue vibe is recently. I'm been getting like a blue vibe. This is the second book by Sophie Lark in the Brutal Birthright series. I read the first one. I think I gave it like 3.5 stars. These are really fun. Like, I read these because they're fun. And like, I can kind of just enjoy without having to think. I don't know if that's like a good or a bad thing. I do like that these editions have artwork in them. Like, you follow two crime families. Where are we? So you follow two crime families. You follow the Gallows and the Griffins. And right now, this one here, Nessa, has been kidnapped by an enemy. And she's being held against her will by this monster. It's kind of given Beauty and the Beast retelling, while her family, who's a very prominent mafia family, are doing everything they can to find her. And she, you know, is into ballet, and she's trying to soldier on through this capture, even though, like, she's been treated kind of well, actually, for being kidnapped. I mean, if someone wants to kidnap me and, like, feed me 3 meals a day, buy me new clothes, give me the run of, like, a whole wing of a mansion, walk the grounds, like, give me access to a library, like, if someone wants to do that for me, I'm like, I volunteer as tribute. So it's not, like, even though the stakes feel pretty low, and I think that's why I'm enjoying these, because it doesn't feel like I'm gonna lose anything by reading these. Like, I know how this is gonna pan out. I don't think I'm in for any surprises. So these are the 2 books that I'm currently reading. I will say this one is taking my interest more, most definitely. If I was to rate this now, 4 stars. It was probably a 4.5, but we got, like, a really weird info dump in the last, like, 60 pages that I didn't really like. It could have been spread out more throughout the story. And the insta-lovey, lusty thing. Like, how are you going to tell someone you love them before you've even kissed them? What if they have, like, perpetual bad breath? That's a commitment. That's a commitment, okay? So 4 stars. If I was to rate this now, 3. Yeah, I would say this is a 3 stars. I'm enjoying it. It's fun. I have a good time. Very different vibes. Very different vibes. We have angels, devils, chimera, powers, wishes that are bought through teeth. We have a kidnapped mafia princess who's still getting treated like a princess, even though her kidnapper is meant to be a beast. We have seen very little monster tendencies, let's just say that. So those are the 2 that I'm reading and enjoying. I'm actually quite the way through this as well. I'm like 168 pages through this. One thing I do love about the series, not only do they have really nice artwork, they're fun, they're fast-paced, and they flop. This one has a little bit of flop too, actually. So I'm reading 2 floppy books, which is my preferred format. So those are the 2 books I'm reading, and I'm going to cross-stitch on Open Your Heart to New Adventure, and I will come back in once I have some updates. No, that was a cute message. Okay, so I'm back because I have an update. It's not a huge update by any means. I'm actually going to pop on screen the before and after picture, because the way I have my camera set, this is like inversed. It's flipped. So I'm actually going to insert a before and after picture of when I first showed you and what we are looking like now. I have stitched 231 stitches, a grand total of 231 stitches. I will say I'm having fun. I'm enjoying myself. I'm glad that I picked up some cross stitch today, and it's so nice to see this just come to life. And I, you know, I missed my cross stitch, and I'm glad that I'm able to make some time for it this weekend. I do have a budding migraine, and it's stressing me out. So I think I'm going to be kind to myself, and I'm going to wash my face and order my pizza because it's pizza night and I love pizza night. And then I'm gonna watch the second episode of You, because that is my show. I'm hoping to have it all done this weekend, because I am terrified that I'm gonna get spoiled for this show. So I want to have it all wrapped up this weekend so that I don't have to worry about spoilers. So I think that's what I'm gonna do. I probably will stitch some more tonight. I will just update tomorrow, because I think, you know, having some pizza, watching You, and just like being all cozy is what I need right now. And hopefully it will help the migraine leave the building. And yeah, so I will probably see you tomorrow at some point if I don't randomly come back in for whatever reason. I mean, I might come back in if I have something to say about my book, I suppose. But yeah, I'm gonna go enjoy the rest of my evening and hope that this migraine goes away. I have officially finished Daughter of Smoke and Bone. I'm sticking with my 4-star rating. I do think towards the end we had like a POV shift and a timeline shift, so it took a minute to get into what was happening. And I mentioned previously there was like an insta-lust feel to this book. That was completely explained. Like, it ties in with the whole theme of this book. And once you get to the third act, it all makes sense as to why it's there. I just feel like the third act, when we had a POV shift and a timeline shift, that could have been put throughout the book sporadically. Like, there was moments in this book where Akiva mentioned parts of his past, right? And I feel like slipping in the second timeline or the flashback to the past while Akiva was remembering things would have went more smoothly in my mind. I think it was kind of like a shock to the system to have this POV timeline shift for like most of the third act of the book. So ultimately, I really did enjoy this, and I really did enjoy where it went. I didn't expect it to go where it did, and I'm excited to pick up the second one. I feel like this had the potential to be a 5 stars, but I feel like because of the third act, just not really vibing as much for me personally, it's gonna stay at a 4. But I have hope that as we progress into the rest of this trilogy, that I may rate higher now that I know what's going on. I also think upon reread, I would be really interested to see if I picked up more of what was putting down before we hit the third act. So ultimately, really enjoyed this, gave it 4 stars, and I will be continuing in this series. And it's now Monday, which means I didn't update on Sunday. I ended up getting a migraine on Saturday, and then Sunday I had like no energy and felt kind of like low in mood, which it was such a shock to the system, because on Saturday morning I was feeling, you know, nice and feeling myself, feeling good, and then all of a sudden my mood just plummeted. So I decided to take Sunday just for myself. I read my book. I also started another book. I started A Good Lie by A.R. Tor. This is available on Kindle Unlimited. And essentially, we follow a psychiatrist who specializes in violent behavior, and most of her clients are people that fantasize about killing people. So when a killer is on the loose, this young boy escapes the clutches of this killer, comes back and pinpoints that it was a teacher from his school. But not everything is adding up. And our lovely psychiatrist is taken on as part of the defense of this teacher. So she now needs to create a profile for this killer. I will say, like, this is fast. I think I'm like 40% of the way through. It's really fast. I enjoyed The Girl in 6E trilogy from this author. It's the only thing I've read from this author, and I really enjoyed that. So I just thought, you know, I'm gonna jump into this. It's a thriller, it's on Kindle Unlimited, and I'm having a good time so far. I definitely think that it's entertainment value, and that's what I needed. I needed like something to just lie in my bed. I needed a Kindle book so that I could like have mood lighting instead of like reading light. And this is what I chose. So if I had to rate it right now at like 45%, it would sit at a 3-star, which is a pretty solid thriller for me, and I'm excited to continue. I will probably continue this and finish this in this blog just for some closure, so that I don't tell you how I feel now and then just like leave you hanging. So yeah, I also cross-stitched a little bit. I will have to insert pictures again of the before and after, because my camera again flips this. I on Sunday put in 115 stitches, and then this morning I put in 109 stitches. So I've made pretty good progress on this. I think I'm gonna give it one more day. I really want to complete the D in this pattern before I swap projects, and I'm actually really enjoying this. So yeah, I don't see the point in putting it down while I'm enjoying stitching on it. And hopefully I can get like another couple hundred stitches before I swap project. I think I'm sitting at like just under 500 stitches added to this project, which feels good for me. I obviously have a lot of hobbies. I read, I cross stitch, I crochet. I have a lot of hobbies, so sometimes, you know, things has to take a back seat, and sometimes I don't get as much progress on things as I would like. But I have really enjoyed picking up my cross stitch and, you know, giving it some love. I'm actually back to work today, so I will just update even when I have some progress, whether it be on my cross stitch or the book A Good Lie, and I'll come back once I have more to update. I would like to change cross stitch patterns, so I am going to pop in a picture of what this pattern looked like when I first started this vlog, and now I have popped in a total of 550 stitches. I'm now at 22.38%, and this is what we are looking like. Of course, I will put pictures in so you can see this the way that it's meant to be seen. I really need to figure out how to flip this back so that when I show progress, I don't need to put 2 pictures in, just one. For the sake of this, I may try and flip it now. I came down and worked actually in these bushes here instead of working on the D, because I kind of got bored of this like color. So I came down here and just worked a little bit in here. This is what we are looking like now. I am happy. 500 stitches of progress is more than enough for me to be happy and to move on to my next whip. So the next whip that I will be picking up is the No Time Like the Present Sal by Modern Folk Embroidery. Picture here of what it will look like finished, and picture here of what it currently looks like before I pick it up. I'm hoping I can get a couple of days stitching on this before I end out this vlog, and I really love this pattern, and I love my color choices for it, so I'm excited to get some progress onto it. In other news, I am why do I never write down my numbers before I talk? Well, I'm not there. Is this? Okay. I am 77% of the way through A Good Lie, and I'm enjoying it. Like, it's fun, it's fast. I like the characters. We obviously have Gwen, who is the psychiatrist that is taking on the defense of Randall, who was the teacher that was accused of being the Brutal Hearts killer. And then we have Cavan, who is the defense attorney for this teacher, but is also the dad of one of the victims. We have Scott, who is the victim that escaped capture. And then we have Scott's mum, Nita, who knows her son is like something's up. We also have like side characters, and the reason that I'm talking about characters is because I have an inkling of who I think the Brutal Heart Killer is. I don't think that it's the teacher that has been pinpointed. I definitely think it's someone else. And that's me. I think I got this inclination about 50% of the way through. There was a bit of dialogue in the narrative that had me like side-eyeing a character, so I will definitely tell you if I'm right or not. I do think that this is one of those thrillers, like, you know, when you pick up thrillers and you know that it's just like fast-paced and action-packed. I definitely think it's one of those, even though there's not like much action because of all the secrets and the lies, and it feels like everyone's hiding something. It does give that like action feel to it because you're never quite sure what's going to come out in the narrative. So I'm really enjoying it. If I was to rate it right now, it would probably still be at 3 stars. Which I'm tough with thrillers because I read a lot of them, but a 3-star thriller is not a bad thriller in my book. A 3-star book is, you know, is still a good book. It's just not a great book. And I'm still enjoying my time with it. So I will come back once I have updates on my cross stitch and updates potentially when I finish this book. I will come back and tell you my overall thoughts and how much progress I got on Not Move Forward in Love, No Time Like the Present. This is a look, but I am not willing to take my curls out yet, so we're gonna do this update, this wrap up looking like this because it's just easier. So first off, I'm gonna update on my book. So I finished A Good Lie by A.R. Tor. I gave it a 3.25. My prediction was not right. I was nowhere near where this story ended up, and that made me bump it up a 1/4 star because I was quite impressed with how the author was able to like wrap everything up and also not make the story predictable. If you're looking for something that is fast-paced, available on Kindle Unlimited, thriller, mystery that, you know, had me, then I recommend this. I read a lot of thrillers, and most of the time I'm stubborn, so when I think I know, I think I know. But this one got me. This one got me real good, and for that it got an extra 1/4 star. Nothing groundbreaking, but very much an entertaining read. So if you're looking for something like that, then I recommend this book here. And now I should get my numbers for my cross stitch. I never get my numbers right. I never take my numbers before I start recording because I'm not that organized. So I'm now at 4,245 stitches for a total of 11.93% on No Time Like the Present. I love this pattern. I absolutely love this pattern. It's so cute. I love my colors. I did just come down and work in this area here. I wish I had more time to make more progress, but I need to wrap up this video so I can get it uploaded for tomorrow. This will be going live tomorrow. So I think I'm going to continue stitching on this, but this block here was just what I managed to achieve in the time that I had. So I'm happy that I'm getting to pick up my stitching again, and I'm happy to take you along on the process with what I'm reading and what I'm stitching. I really hope you enjoyed this video. Please excuse the outro, and thank you so very much for watching. Remember to stay safe, happy and healthy, and I will see you next time. Bye.